Hey people, I'm confused. Hey people, StubbornMomDotCom, and today we're looking ugly. Yeah, I just don't have my makeup done, and I haven't done my hair today because those days happen. So this is for real. I don't even know if I'm going to be posting this video that I'm making right now because I don't know what's going to happen. Here's the thing. I am 16 days late. So my period was supposed to come, and I was very aware of that because my whole life revolves around that. I usually turn into a terrible mean monster, and I usually have all kinds of symptoms that just make life terrible, and then when it comes, life is terrible. And so I kind of adjust my schedule around it, honestly. I have a handful of flexible side hustles that I manage, and so I will literally revolve my schedule around my period so that I have the energy to do everything that I need to do for work and for my family. So it didn't come. So after just 3 days or whatever, I didn't really think anything about it. But then when 9 days, over a week and stuff came by, I started to be like, what's going on? And all the symptoms that go with having your period late, whether you're pregnant or not, seem to feel a lot like pregnancy. So that was really weird. So of course, before I even told my husband I was late, I took a home pregnancy test. I got these, okay, so this expired in 2018. So it says 2018, 10/18. So maybe it comes from another country. This is 2015, 10, 12. I don't know what that means, but it's probably expired, and you can get these on Amazon, and they're just the little strips, and it should measure your HCG levels. And I got 50 of them for $5 a couple of years ago, just to have around in case I ever freak out about my period, just to put my mind at ease if I'm a few days late. Now mind you, usually I am like clockwork, but that's how precise I am. If I'm a couple days late, I like to take these. So this was really cost effective. I thought it was a good idea, but I got a negative result. And I was sad, which is weird because we decided we weren't having any more kids. So, but more on that later. So then at 12 or I think around 12 or 13 days late, I took a first response. And at that point, I had told my husband, and I was just because he noticed, I can't believe I'm saying this on the internet, that my boobs were bigger. Now, I don't usually feel sore breasts when I get pregnant, but he was feeling that was different, and I'm like, well, I need to tell you something. And it was really good that I told him because I was because he doesn't like surprises. And so if that idea is in his head in case I am pregnant, he's used to it. And ended up, he was kind of hoping that I would be. So we took this test, and it was negative too. So here I am now, and it's 16 days. And I don't know what to think because, I don't feel pregnant like I have in the past. First, let me explain about my pregnancies. My first pregnancy, I was 21. We had only been married 6 months, and my period was late, but I didn't really notice because then Christmas came, and then I was in my friend's wedding, and then I went back to college to get back into second semester and just get in the swing of things. And then all of a sudden one day, everything was just too bright. I don't read a lot about that symptom online for pregnancy and early pregnancy symptoms, but for me, I was just everything is too bright. I can't handle it. And I was nauseous. So, of course, I called my mom, and I was like, I think I'm sick. And she was like, honey, you could be pregnant, which didn't even occur to me. because I had just gotten married and I wasn't thinking about that stuff. I was super young. So I took a test and I totally was pregnant. And at that point, I was probably about 8 weeks along. Now, for this missed period, I'm about 5 or 6 weeks along according to the pregnancy calculators. And of course, you know, a couple days ago, I'm so late, I'm downloading like all the pregnancy apps, which I've never gotten to do because in the past when I had my kids, there weren't apps for your period, there weren't apps for tracking your baby's development and your pregnancy and pregnancy journals that you can do on your phone. Like, it's so cool. So I was like, okay, this is really neat. So I downloaded a bunch of those and it's like, you're 5 weeks pregnant. And I'm like, 5 weeks? That's a lot. That math doesn't make sense to me, but that's how they count it because of the development of the uterus, not necessarily the embryo, because that didn't exist for another 2 weeks. It's really confusing. So anyways, my other 2 pregnancies came about while I was breastfeeding. So after the first baby, she was about 6 months old, and I knew I was pregnant with my second daughter because I was nauseous, super nauseous. And then the same with my third daughter. That baby was like 7 months old, and I was super nauseous. So the thing that is different this time is I do not feel nauseous yet. But what's different, the last time I had a baby was 11 years ago. I'm in my 30s now. I feel everything in my uterus. Just want to say that. My body is very different than how I was in my 20s. Now when I ovulate, I can feel it. And ever since I've missed my period, pretty often, I'd say almost all throughout the day, I feel like this dull, low kind of cramping going on down there. It's just kind of continual. It's not painful. It's not sharp. It's just kind of like something is moving, something is doing something. And so that could just be that I'm off. Or it could be pregnancy, according to all the crazy stuff I'm Googling that's driving me crazy. Also, like I said, never before in the past did I ever have sore breasts with pregnancies. And this time I don't have that either. But I never had any symptoms with my breasts in the past. But now that I'm older, I will have pain if I'm eating too much like chocolate, sugar, caffeine, basically anything delicious will give me breast pain. So that sucks. And so I feel like there's something going on there, but not pain. They say that you could have spotting or implantation bleeding. I never had any spotting with any of my past pregnancies. Today, I saw the tiniest little amount of spotting, and my heart sank. And I was like, I guess I'm not pregnant. And we'll see what happens. And then later it went away. So if I would be already 5 weeks along, I don't see why there would be any implantation bleeding, because that would have happened like way before my period was supposed to start. If I'm wrong, let me know. My body is going crazy, and when you have a late period and you have the negative pregnancy tests and you Google stuff, it just gets worse, because it's like, oh, you have cysts on your ovaries, you have endometriosis. I know that I don't have any of those issues. I just don't. There's all these other things. They say it could be like, you recently lost a lot of weight. Are you kidding me? I would love to lose a lot of weight, but that isn't happening either. I have been sick, pretty sick with, like, I had a virus all winter and a lot of allergy issues, but then the week that I was supposed to get my period, I started feeling especially sick, just like a cold, and I was like, oh, I feel like I want to die, and I actually went to the doctor because I was just like, I don't feel good, can you check? I thought I had a double ear infection, but everything was okay. And the thing about that is that sometimes when you get pregnant, before you know, you just feel like you have a cold. So that made me think maybe I am pregnant, because apparently your immunity level goes down because you've got this new foreign object in your body, and you don't want your immune system to attack it. So your body actually turns down its immunity defenses, and you're more likely to catch something. Or maybe you just feel like crap, because I remember always with the nauseousness, I would, in general, just feel like crap. Ooh, okay, the other thing that could be a pregnancy symptom is very vivid, crazy dreams. Every night I have very crazy dreams. Now, I already am a dreamer, and I don't like go and interpret it and say, oh, this means something. No, it just means that I thought about the person or I had a conversation with them, and then we're going on this grand adventure in my dream, like whatever, and then they morph into a celebrity and whatever. I mean, that happens a lot for me, but these dreams are very deep, like I'm sleeping really deeply, except a couple of nights I get up and pee. Right? So that could be pregnancy, but it's not like, when you're 6 months along pregnant and you have to pee. It's not that bad. It's not that heavy. But it's like, if I'm pregnant or if I'm not, the uterus is holding extra stuff that it shouldn't be, and it's like heavier. And it feels heavier. I thought if I were pregnant, I would instantly feel exactly the same that I always had in my past pregnancies. Same husband, same stuff in there. It should feel the same. But I'm older, and I have adopted a totally gluten-free diet. And that has changed a lot of things about how I feel in my health. And so I thought, well, maybe the reason I'm not feeling nauseous is because I'm not eating all that garbage anymore. So these are all the crazy thoughts that are going through my head. And to add a little more craziness to it, and please don't comment and be mean to me, we totally had a vasectomy. My husband had that over 11 years ago, so there should be no way I could get pregnant. But thanks to the internet and everyone posting all their crazy stories, I'm reading all this stuff about how people get pregnant anyways. Now, majority of those are people who get pregnant within the first couple months. So obviously, there were still some little guys in there, and the daddy seeds were able to get through. Obviously, that's not the case with us, but there are some stories about people who, like a whole decade later, like maybe someone they're like in their 40s and then they're getting pregnant, thinking, oh, I'm probably starting menopause. Which, by the way, I was like texting my mom, like, when did you start menopause? Thinking I'm having pre-menopause and I'm so young. Why is my period not here? I've heard stories of people getting pregnant anyways, like it grows back, or it's just a miracle. Like when God wants you to have a baby, He gives you a baby. And honestly, like, I'm really aching for one, and my husband wouldn't be sad about it. It would be adorable. It would be awesome. We really miss them being little, and, we're really young for us to make the decision to stop having kids in our early 20s. Really broke my heart after time went on. Of course, by now we'd have like 12 kids, and it would be terrible, right? But, God's got plans. I don't know what they are. I just have to be happy with His plan for my life, even if it doesn't match some expectation or dream. And I'm going crazy right now, not knowing what's going on. If I am pregnant, of course, I will post about that, and that will be awesome. But if I'm not, I will be super sad, and I probably won't post any videos for a long time. I would love a baby. We have 3 girls, and it would be cool to have a boy. But so I feel weird. Comment down below if you have ever had a late period, but you have negative pregnancy tests. I'm going to wait a couple days and do another one in the morning and see what happens if my period doesn't come. If you were waiting to see me cry, too bad, because I'm just not a crier. I don't even cry when my babies are born. I'm just like, oh, it looks like me. Now go clean it up. I'm probably not going to cry on here much, but if I'm not pregnant, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. I really don't know what the point of my life is if, I'm in my mid-30s and I'm not having babies like everyone else my age is. I guess I'll just focus on losing weight, because I always said one day I'll focus on losing weight. Do something with my life, because as the kids get older, I have more free time. And it's almost like super depressing me. I'm like, can someone hand me a baby? I will change a diaper. I am so bored. I guess I just want something like new to happen. Like, I'm always getting this stupid urge, like, oh, let's move. Let's move to a new city. Let's get a new house. Because I was always used to hustling with a new baby and the new phase. And with my kids so close together, everything would just hit us. And now, I'm bored. How psycho is that? I really want a new baby because I'm bored. I got bored. Like, I'm a weirdo. That's all of it. Spilling the tea on all my crazy feelings. I did eat a lot of ice cream this week, and oh, I'm not nauseous, but I am just not that hungry. Except for the ice cream thing, but otherwise, I could care less. Like, I barely ate my breakfast this morning, and I was just like, So guys, I don't know. Thank you for watching. I would love for you to subscribe to StubbornMom.com. I'm just so excited about this YouTube channel, and I would love your support. Being a girl is really hard. Missing your period is hard. It's confusing as heck. Life is hard. As I always say, don't let it harden you. Tell me if you are going through the same thing. I'd love to connect with you. Thanks. So I shot that video a month ago, and I had gone 20 weeks. What am I saying? 20 weeks? That's psycho. 20 days. 20 days late. My period was 20 days late. And then it came with a vengeance. Woke me up in the middle of the night with cramps. So I was like, it was pretty violent. So I was like, oh, am I having a miscarriage? But I don't think it was. So we'll see what happens this month. But sometimes crazy things happen to our bodies, and there's reasons or there's not. I don't know. But I felt a lot of comfort watching other people's videos about that, and so I hope you enjoyed mine, I guess. I hope it was helpful to you. Crazy being a female, it's hard, right?